Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues, and professionals in the solar industry. From wherever you are joining me today, it can be a good morning or a good afternoon or even a good evening. Welcome to this solar webinar presentation from Jubilee Bros Solar. My name is Samson Amanyozekson. I am based out of the Jubilee Bros office in Ghana, West Africa, and I will be your main host for the event today. The event was built to start at 10 o'clock GMT, which is about 2 minutes away. I want to join early because I have seen a lot of attendees who are already online. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to join us today. Whilst we wait for the time to click so that all our other colleagues who have registered can join us, I will just go over to our webinar, our survey, so that you can help us. Please, currently there's a survey that is flashing on your screen. Kindly fill the survey so that we can know where and which part of the world you are coming from, what you do. It will help us in our future events to tailor make much more webinar products to your satisfaction. So please just take a minute or two whilst we wait for our colleagues to join us to fill up the survey that is flashing on the screen. Thank you very much for understanding. Help us fill, and I will get back to you for us to start this nice journey. Okay, so the time is 10 o'clock. Kindly help us fill up the survey. If you are here with us on the screen, just a minute of your time to fill out the survey that is flashing so that we can take off. Okay, So I will be ending the voting now on the survey. Okay, so we will start with our presentation. Kindly, in the meantime, as the webinar goes on, if you have any question that you want to put out to us, if you take a look at the right bottom part of your screen, you will see some three icons, and one is a chat. It's a chat model where you can just put in your question quickly. If you just click on chat, and then you put in your question so that at the end of the webinar, I will take my time to go through the questions and as much as possible answer them for you as we go along. Okay, okay, so let us start this quickly. So my name is Samson Amanyozekson. As I said, I am a Huawei pre-sales expert and a Huawei after-sales expert for Huawei's Future Solar Solutions. I'm with Jubilee Bros Solar. I am speaking out of the Ghana office. I'm in charge of the solar development for West Africa. So joining me today, you guys are joining me for the Huawei Residential Solutions. Just last year in December, Jubilee Bros Ghana won the best residential solar project in Africa for our project in Ghana. And this has made us tremendously proud. This is all because of the knowledge we have passed on to our EPCs across the West African region and across Africa in terms of Huawei residential solutions. This year, 2022, something new is happening. So it will be good for you to join me and then let us take a look at the new trends in the solar industry concerning Huawei's residential inverters. So I'll move on quickly. Let us start with Jubilee Bros, who we are and what we are. Jubilee Bros is more than 40 years old in conventional power solution delivery. Particularly, we started as a generator sales company, and you can see our timelines from here. The company started in Lebanon, and since then we have moved to UAE, Nigeria. A lot of timeline until 2017. The company was inaugurated in 1977. So in 2017, we became 40 years old. And then the solar division was actually given birth in 2017 as a commemoration of our power solution delivery over the years. Renewable energy was added, particularly the solar division. And since then, we have moved into Pakistan, Kenya, And this year, we are still looking to expand into more countries. If you take a look at our reach, this is our global logistical reach. You can see we are very, very active in Middle East and Africa, particularly. That is where most of our operations are. We have over 70 distribution centers and services across the region, which is very, very remarkable. In Nigeria alone, we have 3 manufacturing hubs across the world, one in Lebanon, one in UAE, and then one in Nigeria. And in Nigeria, we have a mega workforce that is thriving inside Nigeria. So this is our vision and mission. This is our vision. So that our vision is to be a pioneer in delivering conventional and renewable energy solutions across the world. And for that, we need our partners to trust us. So that is our ultimate mission, to gain trust from our clients that we work with. So as I said, the solar division was given birth in 2017, and it was given birth on on 6 key pillars. So as you can see from here, we have product delivery, training, engineering support, leads, referral to finance, and after sales support. So if you take a look at these key pillars, the product supply is what actually you pay us to deliver. Okay, so if you come and buy a product from us, you pay us some money, and then we will deliver that product to you. But for all the other pillars, we offer it absolutely free of charge. So we offer trainings, we offer webinars, we have seminars, and they are all for free. Attendance is absolutely free. We also offer engineering support. If you are an EPC and you have a bigger project or even a small project, but you've not designed using Huawei systems before, we are absolutely available to help you, offer you engineering support right from the design stage until after sales. We also offer leads and referrals to finances. Okay, that is very, very active. We don't offer only leads, we offer quality leads for your business. And my absolute favorite, we also offer after sales support for anybody who buys from us. So our relationship with you do not end after we sold to you and then you've paid us money. Okay, we are available to offer you installation support if you are doing installation, even pre-installation support. We are available to offer trainings and presentation to your staff before they take up any journey with Huawei. Okay, so interestingly, we move into our complete solar solution. So if you take a look at the brands that you see here, they are all tier 1 brands. So with panels, we have a GCC partnership with Jinko Solar, where they supply to us directly, and we also supply to our clients. For mounting structures, we do Lumax Energy from South Africa. Lumax Energy is a top mounting structure manufacturer from South Africa. When it comes to inverter and accessories, we do primarily Huawei. One of the major reasons why we are here today to discuss this. So our inverter and accessories all come from Huawei. And then, as I told you, conventionally, we are a generator sales company for over 40 years, even before venturing into the solar. So our generators are manufactured with engines from Perkins and alternators from Leroy Summer of France. Because we are particularly a generator company and we also do solar, we are very, very versed in hybrid solar solutions. PV diesel solutions is one of our strong suits. And we use a couple of hybrid fuel savers for hybridization, particularly Nkombi and Deep Sea. Okay, as you see here. So this is our complete product solution. You can always get in touch with us. Any branch, I showed you our global reach. You can get in touch with any branch for you to see the products that we deliver and how we can help you. So let me narrow down to Huawei. Okay, so when it comes to the inverter and accessories, Huawei, we have 2 key partnerships with Huawei. Okay, we are a VAP and a CSP. A VAP means we are a value-added partner. This is particularly for pre-sales. Okay, that means Huawei sells only to us in any region that we operate in, and then we in turn sell to the EPCs. Okay, so we are a value-added partner. We don't only buy and sell from Huawei, but we add value to their chain. We are the ones who offer you direct installation support, direct product trainings, presentations, seminars. All is done by us. Huawei also have what they do on their own global level, but then the most direct support that you get for the systems are coming from us. And then we are also a CSP. a certified service provider for Huawei, which means that after we have sold to you, if you have any problems with your installation and servicing, the first point of touch is with us from Jubilee Bros. Okay, and the reasons we have gone with Huawei: higher yields. Most of you all know that. Smart O&M. Now, currently, the Huawei systems we have said once you install them, they are supposed to be touch-free, maintenance-free for 20 years. Touch-free, maintenance-free. Okay, how does it become touch-free, maintenance-free? You don't have to touch it, you don't have to maintain it. That is because all the O&M now has become smarter. We can do O&M right from the palm of our phones, and it's easy. And for us, we believe they have the safest and most reliable system everywhere in the world. Okay, so let us delve into it. Huawei Fusion Solar Residential PV Smart Solutions. These are the topics I'll be taking a look at quickly. I'll be taking a look at Huawei introduction. We will delve into the residential inverters and accessories. We will particularly focus on the PV optimizers because the PV optimizers, as I've realized, is not very popular across the world. So we would like to focus on this and let you know the benefits of the PV optimizers and how it can aid your business. We will take a look at the Lunar ESS. That's the Huawei Lunar Battery Solutions. And then we also take a look at the Fusion Solar app, how you're able to get all the system smartly onto a phone or onto a laptop to allow you to commission the system and also offer remote monitoring of the system. And then most importantly, we will take a look at some of the applications. Okay, most of you who are installers on this platform would like to know in what instances can I use Huawei residential solutions and how can I use them? Okay, it's critically important for you to know this. And then later we will take a look at the summary of the system. So join me on this interesting journey. I am excited. I hope you are as excited as I am. Okay, so first and foremost, let's take a look at Huawei. And you can always see, normally we show this just to tell you that Huawei is going nowhere. Okay, of course, when I show you an inverter and say that the inverter has a warranty for 10 years, I mean, and within 9 years, the company is no more in existence, what then becomes of your warranty? Okay, so normally we just like, and I believe that you all know that already, but it will be good for you to for me to confirm it to you, the global progress of Huawei. And you can see the Huawei business in terms of digital energy solutions have been increasing every year since 2014, and this was the last quarter Q3 data for 2021. Okay, and we are waiting for the Q4 data. But you can see even despite the COVID, 2019, 2020, Huawei's business has constantly kept increasing. Number 44 on the global Fortune 500, close to 200,000 employees globally, of which over 53% of them are into R&D. We all know how important R&D is, okay? For a company that does not want to innovate, in this technology and start, those companies dies out quickly. Huawei has more than half of its employees in R&D alone, and they are number 3 in terms of R&D investment globally. That should tell you that we are always innovating. Now let's focus on the fusion solar inverters particularly. So on the left of this graph, you will take a look at how the trend has been shifting. Okay, the blue area is showing you the market share of string inverters, and the gray area is showing you the market share of central inverters. So you can juxtapose this, or you can compare this with how Huawei has affected the string inverter market since 2014. Okay, so way back, central inverters has had a higher market share than string inverters. But because Huawei's influence started increasing, you can see that this margin has actually shifted. And currently, we are seeing a larger market share for string inverter systems than central. Take note, Huawei do not manufacture central inverters. All our systems are string inverter solutions. Okay, so you can compare it to how this graph has shifted. Let's come to the string inverter market alone. This is showing you the global inverter market, both string and central. Now we come to the string inverter market alone. And if you take a look at this, for the string inverter market alone, you see that Huawei is enjoying over 50% of the market share. Over 50%. Okay, so what it means is that Huawei has over 50% of the market share, and all the other string manufacturers group globally is grouped in the gray area. That is tremendous. So for somebody who will say, "Oh, I only know Huawei concerning consumables or consumer goods like telephones and tablets," no, Huawei is globally is even number one when it comes to global shipments for inverters. Here from IHS Market, you can see the data. Number one every year for the past 6 or 7 years. Okay, and this is tremendously important for us to note that it's not a product that is not nowhere, but it is everywhere globally, and everybody is currently enjoying from it. Now, let me delve into the solutions, okay, quickly, so that we don't waste too much time. So we have three groups of solutions for the Huawei inverter systems. We have always had the residential solutions, we've had the commercial and industrial solutions, and then we have the utility. Now, in the residential band, well, we have two groups of solutions, okay? We have the 2 to 6 kilowatt single phase. So if you want a single phase Huawei inverter, it's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kilowatt you can get on the market. If you want a three-phase inverter, residential, it's 3 to 10 kilowatt, okay? So Huawei considers everything below 10 kilowatt as residential, and above 10 kilowatt to 10 kilowatt is considered CNI. And then above 100 kilowatt is considered utility scale. So this is 2 to 6 is single phase, 3 to 10 is three phase. So you have 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10 kilowatt. Those are the sizes that you have, okay, with the Huawei systems. Then we come to the commercial and industrial group, where we have 4 different groups, as you can see here. So we have the small CNI, that's 12 to 20 kilowatt. We have 12 kilowatt inverter, 15, 17, and 20. Okay. And then when it comes to the middle group, we have 30, 36, and 40 kilowatt. These are the most modern inverters that have been released by Huawei. The M3 batch, 30, 36, and 40 kilowatt. And then we have the bigger groups, that's 50 and 60 kilowatt, M0. And then the ultimate inverter, in my opinion, the 100 kilowatt inverter, the mega inverter, 100 kilowatt, it has 10 independent MPPTs, and each MPPT has 2 strings. So in total, you can connect a maximum of 20 strings to this inverter directly without using any DC combiner box. Take note, Huawei inverters, because of their multiple MPPTs and string inputs, they don't need a DC combiner box. This particularly saves you some capex, right? So you don't need a DC combiner box for the systems. Okay, and then we move to the utility range, where we have the 185 kilowatt inverter, high voltage, and then we have the 200 and the currently released 215 kilowatt inverter H3. So these are the largest, the 215 is the largest inverter in the utility scale range for Huawei systems. Also for utility scale, Huawei has containerized transformers, okay? So if you are doing a utility scale project, let's say 6 megawatt, 12 megawatt, 18 megawatt projects, and you need a Huawei solution, okay, you can go for the 200 or the 215 kilowatt inverters. These inverters will be terminated directly on the containerized transformer. The transformer comes in 3 sizes, okay? We have the 6 MVA, we have the 3 MVA, the 6 MVA, and then currently this year, Huawei will be releasing the 9 MVA transformer onto the market anytime within Q3 or Q4. Okay, so these are containerized units. So you connect the system directly to the container, to the transformer again without a DC combiner box. Okay, making the work pretty much easier. So this is the whole solution that is executed by Huawei. For today, I will delve only into the residential solutions. There will be other webinars that will be planned for commercial and for utility scale. You can always look out for them on the Jubilee Bros Solar website, on LinkedIn, and you can register for those events. Okay, so moving in quickly, this is the solution that we have from Huawei. So as I mentioned, for our residences, we have the 2 to 6 kilowatt inverter, single phase. You can see it from here. Then we have the 3-phase inverter, 3 to 10 kilowatt. We have the Huawei Luna ESS. We have it as 5 kilowatt hours, 10 kilowatt hours, and 15 kilowatt hours. So in one rack, you can have 15 kilowatt hours in the rack, okay, as you can see from here. And then we have the PV optimizers, okay, that helps in optimizing the module level solutions that we have on our roof. And then we also get everything for you onto a Fusion Solar app that will enable remote monitoring and operation of your system. So this is what we have, and the solution comes optimally. Okay, we optimize your electricity cost. There's active safety, and then we would also give you a better experience from the technology that is being provided here. Let's see how all this fits into place. So this is the residential line diagram. Okay, anything here you see that is highlighted in red is a solution that is provided by Huawei. The gray items are not Huawei solutions. Okay, there are other solutions that are provided in the system, but anything that is red here is a solution from Huawei. So let's see, this is the Huawei inverter, and you can see connected to the inverter is a smart dongle for communication. That's the communication device you see under the inverter. This is the smart dongle. And then we have the smart power sensor. Basically, it's a power meter. For those of you who know, most of our power meter is a bi-directional smart power meter that is also distributed by Huawei. This is to enable production measurement and also zero export functionality. I'm sure each and every one of us know about zero export functionality. Okay, yeah. So that is what you get with this. And then the third one, you can see that this group of panels are gray because they don't have optimizers. This group are red because they are fitted with the Huawei optimizer, okay, the 450 watt peak optimizer. And we will delve also into it for you to see how that also works, okay? So these are fitted with optimizers. And then this here is the lunar battery. So you can see this single light diagram is pretty much simple, okay? Not much complications in the system. There is no DC combiner box coming to the inverter, okay? And if it's a single inverter, even you don't need an AC combiner box, it goes directly to the system. I would elaborate more on this when we get to applications for you to see how this works much more. So first introducing you, let us take a look at the residential inverters and its accessories. Okay, so we will take a, this is how the Huawei inverter looks like. And the whole idea, the slickness of the design comes from the idea of snowflakes. Okay, so Huawei incorporated this white snow background ideas into the inverter aesthetics, just to make it very, very beautiful and slick for you. So that's what you see from here. And here is to show you the two different ranges that I spoke about. Okay, residential inverters. This is single phase, this is three phase. Okay, so particularly if you see here, we have 2, 3. We have some minor divisions also, okay, for some other markets like Australia and Japan. But for the African market, for example, we do 2, 3, we do 4, 5, and 6 kilowatt. L1 means low voltage, okay, because these are single phase systems. So we are assuming 220, 200, 220 volts. So that's L1, single phase inverters. You can see it has 2 MPPTs. Each MPPT has one input. So for the residential inverters, each MPPT has one input. So that is one string per MPPT. For the CNI inverters, each MPPT has 2 strings. Okay, so let's not confuse this. For the residential inverters, both the single phase and the 3 phase, each MPPT has only one string. And these inverters are also built for high-powered panels. Mind you, they are built for high-powered panels, they are built for bifacial panels, and they are also built for floating solar systems. Okay, so they are compatible with the most current technology that is available worldwide. Local commissioning for the single phase is by an inbuilt WLAN. It has an active arc fault protection unit, and they are all compatible with the Huawei optimizer, the SAN 2450 watts. So this is the 3 phase. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10 KTL M1. Take note, there's no 7, there's no 9. Okay, So, but all these inverters, you can synchronize them together, so you don't have a problem. Without batteries, you can synchronize a maximum of 10 of these residential inverters together. With batteries, you can synchronize a maximum of 3. Please, this is a very useful piece of information. If you are connecting batteries to this system, you can synchronize a maximum of 3 of them, 3 of these inverters. And also in the synchro, you can mix and match. Okay, you can synchronize a single phase inverter with a 3-phase inverter. There's no problem about that. So you can put 3 KTL L1 together with 5 KTL M1. No problem at all. You can mix and match the synchro. But if they have batteries, you can do maximum of 3. If they don't have batteries, you can do a maximum of 10. That is a very useful piece of information that we should all know at this stage. Okay, so going forward, let's take a look at how the inverter is built. So you can see this is the lightest inverter compared to its colleague inverters from other brands in the system. Why? Because Huawei has eliminated a lot of stuff from this inverter, making the inverter very lightweight and robust. There are no fans, there are no fuses, there are no LCD screens, there are no buttons. In fact, over the years, we have known that fans, fuses, LCD screens, and buttons are the easiest failure points on an inverter. Those are the things that can make an inverter fail, for which you have to change it. For this reason, we have eliminated all these from the inverters, making the inverters strong and robust. Okay, that's why we have moved all the O&M onto your phone for you to be able to have that access to the KPIs. So in place of the fans, we have a heat sink that is located behind the inverter. And again, if you take a look at the thermograph that we have here, Huawei has carefully separated the heat generating part of the inverter from the heat sensitive part. Please, these are 2 key things. So this, if you take a look at the colder part of the inverter, that's the heat sensitive area. Okay, and most of them have been separated on one side from the heat generating part, which is on the other side. So it's not as if those components are all mixed together, so that the heat generated from this part can actually destroy the heat sensitive areas. And also we have a heat sink at the back of the inverter to be able to cool the system as the production is ongoing. Okay, so this is the technology that we have here. And check a look at the annual failure rate, lower than 0.5%, which means the inverter availability is up to 99.996% in a year. I mean, I don't know about you, but 99.996% is very close to 100%, and that is phenomenal. Okay, all right. So let's take a look at other features. We have said is the lightest inverter among its range, easy for one person to carry and install. That's very, very important. So if you take a look at its colleague inverters in the same range, Huawei has the lightest. Huawei is 17 kg, and for the 3-phase one, Huawei is 25 kg. Okay, which tells you that it is the lightest in its range of inverters with other colleagues, and one person can just take this inverter and install on the wall without much of a trouble. So let's come to the communication. How are we able to put these inverters in a communication link to our online platforms? So as we mentioned, everything about this inverter is smart. Everything can be done from the palm of your hands with your phone or on your laptop. And this is made possible by the smart dongles that we have here. So here are the smart dongles, okay? We have the smart dongle 4G, and then we have the smart dongle WLAN FE, okay? So I will tell you the difference. The smart dongle 4G uses a SIM card, okay? For people who be doing installation in areas where there is no Wi-Fi, okay, or there is no active internet line. But once the telecommunications network gets to the place and the telecommunication system is 4G compliant, you can just put a SIM card, load it with some data, and put it into this dongle, connect it to your inverter, and it can put all the inverter system online. If this is happening in a house where there is Wi-Fi and the Wi-Fi is reliable, then you can use a WLAN FE. WLAN FE means wireless local area network. FE is fast Ethernet. So you can also use an internet line, okay? Just like the way you put an internet line into your laptop or your computer to have access to the internet, you can put an internet line also at the back of the system, and you'll be online. So we have these two groups of dongles for you to select from. Okay, if you buy a Huawei inverter, residential type, the WLAN FE dongle is supplied in the box. You don't have to buy it extra. It's supplied free of charge. But the 4G dongle, you have to make a purchase for it. Okay, so if the WLAN FE is not compliant in your area and you want to use a SIM card, then you have to purchase a 4G. So please take note, if you are contacting any Huawei VAP, any Jubilee Bros outlet that is out there, be sure to make sure that you are actually, if you want to use the 4G dongle, then you are specifically going to be asking for it. That is very important. Okay. So moving forward. And also, another piece of information, if you are using the smart dongle, a smart dongle can connect up to a maximum of 10 inverters. So remember I mentioned that you can cascade a maximum of 10 inverters in a cascade, right? In one synchro unit, okay? So if you are using, if you are cascading these 10 inverters, a single smart dongle will work for your system, okay? In the event that you need to connect more than 10 inverters for any Huawei system, the smart dongle will not become deficient. It can't work. You then have to use a smart logger. And I'm sure most of you also know of a smart logger system. Okay. Yeah. So Huawei has smart loggers mostly for their CNI projects. So for the CNI webinars, you hear more about the Huawei smart logger. Okay. Moving forward, let us introduce ourselves to another group of accessories. This is the smart power meter. Okay, so you saw it in the line diagram that was shown earlier. Huawei calls it the smart power sensor. It's just what you would call a smart meter. And we have two types. We have the single phase, the smaller one, and then we have the bigger one, the three phase. Again, this provided in the box of this smart meter will be CTs, all right, current transformers. There will be one current transformer for this system, and then there'll be 3 current transformers for the 3-phase system. And this is what will help you enable zero export in your system. So if you are designing any Huawei system for your house, and the country or the regulator in where you live says that no export should be sent to the grid, this is the kind of meter that you need to get installed in your system. The only way you can enable zero export in any Huawei system is to connect a smart meter. Otherwise, it's absolutely not possible. The inverter alone does not have a zero export functionality embedded in there. So you need a smart meter. It's simple and easy to install, and it's very energy efficient. You can see the energy efficiency down here. So as I mentioned, once you have all these, commissioning can be done from the palm of your hand, okay? Commissioning can be done in just five minutes. You can commission a whole Huawei system easily. All you have to do is to download the Fusion Solar app. Whether you are using an iPhone, a Samsung, a Huawei phone, you just go to the store, and then you just download the Fusion Solar app. When you download it, it would ask you, if that's your first time, it would ask you to register as an installer. And once you go through the registration process, you then get your details. Once you get your details, the app opens, the login page will open, you put in your details, and then it opens up. Once it opens up, now the process then becomes simple. Okay, it's a simple 7-step process for you to register your system and commission it online. And majority of the time, the system itself will lead you from one page to the other easily for you to finish your commissioning and then your local registration. It's pretty much easy. Once you log in, they will ask you for basic information settings, which you have to put in. Once you put in the basic information settings, it will lead you to the next page, okay, where the system itself, once the serial number of the inverter is captured, every other equipment that's connected to the inverter will actually appear automatically. It will be detected by the system, and they will all appear. The only part that will not appear, that might not appear, is when there is a cascade. Okay, when the system is cascaded, they might not appear immediately, but there will be a place for you to go and then enable cascade. So once you enable cascade, all the cascaded items will also be registered in the system, and the system will be easily seen. So it should be an easy system to lead you on from one point to the other. This will be completed, and in the event, in case there was a system that is not registered. So, for example, whilst the team was doing the auto detection, you did not see your smart meter, or you did not see your optimizers. Okay, just in case you didn't, the system will give you an opportunity to add devices. So in this instance, you would log into that, add device, and then all the devices will be listed. The Huawei devices will be listed, and then you can just pick the one that you feel you have installed in the system. If it's a smart meter, if it's an optimizer, if it's a weather station, whatever that you have installed, which is not showing, you just click on that, and then the system will begin to look for it for you. Okay, so anything that does not auto detect, you can add it here easily, and then you can register the plant online, and you are done. The system is up and working. This should not take you more than 5 minutes if you are doing this. Okay, pretty much easy. So installation is easy, commissioning is easy. Then what will be left for you to do is online monitoring. Okay, online monitoring of the system to see how the system is operating from time to time. Okay, let's move on to the PV optimizers quickly, and then we see how they benefit our system. So a PV optimizer. Now, what is a PV optimizer? I'm sure most of us on this call are technical people, and we already know what optimizers do. An optimizer is supposed to boost the power production of a particular model. Remember, an MPPT boosts the power production of a string. Okay, so MPPT boosts the power production of a string, not of an individual model. If you want to boost the production of an individual model, you need to connect an optimizer to that model. For the Huawei Optimizer, it's a one-fits-all optimizer. It has a limitation of 450 watts. Okay, so take note, if your panel capacity is above 450 watts, you cannot use the Huawei Optimizer. That's one first point of reference. I am aware that this year, Huawei plans to release a larger size optimizer. Okay, one that will have a capacity higher than 450. But in the meantime, what we have is a 450 watt threshold optimizer. Okay, and the maximum power input is as seen here, 80 VDC. It has a maximum efficiency of 99.5, and it has a rapid shutdown. It can quickly, within 3 seconds, if the whole system shuts down, within 3 seconds, the optimizers can shut down your model to 0 voltage within 3 seconds. This is very good for firefighting, for maintenance, for repairs, and all that on our roof. So it is critically important. Okay, so let's see how, or in what instances do we use the optimizer. So right from here, you could see that if you take a look at this roof, you could see that there's a shade, okay, on some of the panels. Okay, so we use optimizers for so many things: shading, different azimuths. Okay, now we have roofs. We build houses with complicated roof orientations. Okay, of course, because we want our houses to be beautiful, we have different roof orientations, and it's not too good for solar installations. But that's why the optimizers are there. If you are going to install solar on a very complicated roof, that will create shades. There are chimneys on the roof. Okay, there are different orientations. You know, to avoid mismatch, you cannot put different oriented panels onto the same MPPT. That's what the optimizers are there to help you do, and they can boost the power production of these models by up to 30%. So you can see here, without optimizer, once this one drops, it affects all the other models, because of course this connection is made in series, and series means that the same current passes through them. So when this current drops, that's the current is going to drop through these ones. Okay, but with the optimizer, the optimizer takes over the power qualities of the model and ensures that the model production is independent of the other ones. So right from here, you can see that it has boosted the energy of the other panels by about 30%. Let's again take a look at other instances. where we can apply optimizers. So yes, again, you see this type of roof, okay, very, very complicated. And if you are not able to get all the panels here in one string, and you have to add this string, then there's going to be a panel mismatch. So for this group of panels, you can put optimizers on them. Take note, another good thing with the Huawei Optimizer system is that you can do full optimization, you can do partial optimization. You don't necessarily have to do full. You can do full or partial. You can do full optimization and you can do partial optimization. So what it means is that you can only optimize these panels and leave these ones in the same string. Another thing also here that you can do is that the optimizers allow us to do what we call a long string design. A long string design. It's actually boosts up the AC to DC ratio of the system. So the optimizers boost up the AC to DC ratio of the system, allowing you, instead of, let's say, 14 panels in a string, the optimizers can allow you to put up to 20, 22 panels in a string. Okay, and this allows the system to have a longer string range. Okay, so that instead of you putting half of these panels on one string and then connecting the half to the other half here on the second string, what you can do is that you can connect all this panel as a long string on one MPPT. Okay, and that saves us a lot of headache. So that is very, very also important for you to take note. Another use of the optimizer, as I've already mentioned, if you take a look at the roof that is here, this space and this space cannot be utilized, okay, because of the different orientation and then the difficulty. But if you're able to put optimizers on them, you can now have panels on this space that is here. So if you take a look at here and there are no panels. But with optimization, we're able to put panels here, put panels there, okay, so that we can also reduce panels in some other spaces. So virtually, like basically, the optimizers are helping us to boost our flexibility in terms of how the roof is oriented and how that affects our installation. Very, very important. So every Jubilee Bros solar outlet out there has optimizers that you can buy. Also, another good thing about the optimizers, it allows you to pinpoint which model in a string has an arc. Okay, remember previously the inverter themselves has an arc fault protection. Okay, but the inverter will not be able to detect which particular model in a string is causing the arc. It can actually detect that this particular string has an arc fault in there. But to pinpoint the particular model, you will need an optimizer. So right in the palm of your hand, the optimizer will be able to pinpoint for you which model in your system has the arc. Easy for O&M maintenance, okay? Easy for O&M, so that when you go onto the roof, you are going specifically to that model to sort out what the problem is. Very, very important. And again, they are very, very small. Okay, this, in fact, the optimizer is the smallest I have seen in the system. It's a palm fit optimizer, and it's about 50% smaller than the average optimizer that you have on the market. That is absolutely incredible. Now let's take a look at the batteries. Again, one of my favorites are the batteries. The newly launched Huawei Luna ESS batteries. Again, the idea for the battery was also gotten from a waterfall. Can you imagine? Sleek and nice. Okay, so that's where the idea came from a waterfall. And this is how the battery looks like. So then the battery is modular. Okay, it's a lithium-ion battery, and it comes in modules. So we have the battery modules and then the power module. Okay, each battery module is 5 kilowatt hours. Each battery module is 5 kilowatt hours. Each battery module is 5 kilowatt hours, and you can have a maximum of 3 battery modules in a rack. So here we have 5, 10, 15. This is the maximum you can have in a rack with one power module. Okay, so basically you can have one power module and one battery module, 5 kilowatt hours. And you can have one power module and 2 battery modules. That's a 10 kilowatt hours. And then you can have one power module and 3 battery modules. That's 15 kilowatt hours. So one battery rack is 50 kilowatt hour maximum. And for every Huawei inverter in the system, from single phase to three phase, the maximum battery models they can take is 2 racks. So for each inverter model, the maximum you can connect to it is 2 racks, which is shown here. Yeah, so here, one inverter can take 2 racks in parallel, which means the maximum one inverter can take is 30 kilowatt hours. Please kindly take note. Kindly take note for those of us who are installers and would like to have battery systems in our solutions for our customers. Okay, it's impossible for you to do 3 racks. The maximum you can do is 2 racks, and these are lithium-ion batteries. Okay, and let's take a look at more features of these battery units. You'll be amazed. Okay, so this is how you find it connected in your house, and each battery model is independent. Okay, it charges and discharges independently of the other. So if you have 3 battery models like this, they are not connected. Okay, this is very important, so that for those of us who are used to conventional battery models where they are all connected in such a way that if one is giving you a problem, then the whole system begins to falter. In this case, the 3 battery models are independent, so they charge and discharge independently. Okay, they are all controlled by the power model up here. All right, so it is when one battery model has a problem, the system bypasses it, and then this other 2 works perfectly. Okay, so it doesn't cost you any downtime at all, and you will see from your Fusion Solar app that one battery model is faulty. You see from there clearly. So it will not disturb or delay anything for you. The other battery models will work perfectly, and your system will still run seamlessly without any issue. Okay, so let's go to the Fusion Solar app. Now, we said there are no buttons, there is no LCD screen, there's nothing on the inverter. So somebody will ask, how then do I assess my KPIs? How then do I take a look at the production? Okay, we have moved everything from physical to digital. So everything is now going to happen on your phone. So all you need to do is to get a Fusion Solar app on your phone. Okay, now this Fusion Solar app is an app that can be installed on your phone. And then we have the Fusion Solar Management Platform. That is a web-based tool. That one can be, you can just go online, okay, and then input in your browser, okay, sg5.huawei.support. And then the Fusion Solar Management System shows up. So you can either manage the system from your computer, that's from the web, or from the app on your phone. Okay, it all allows for remote monitoring. It all allows for troubleshooting, okay, and it all allows for you to see the KPIs in the system, okay. There will be a KPI dashboard. Let's just go to it so that you can see properly. So right here, you take a look at the web-based portal, and it will show you the diagram, okay. You see your batteries in there, you see your PV system, you see your inverter, you see the load coming to the house, you see the amount you are taking from the grid. All will show you clearly, and you see the graphs of your production. This data is available daily, monthly, yearly, up to a 20-year period. So of course, if you install the system in the next 10 years, okay, you can always go back 10 years back to today to find out the data that was delivered by your system. It's that robust, okay. It is that robust. And right here, all your KPIs can be seen. Your system alarms can be visible, your plant performance, everything. Your environmental benefits, how many trees you are saving, how many CO2 you are abating from the environment, everything can be shown from here. On the app, you will also see how your system is behaving. Here, you see the battery. At the top, you see the PV solution. Down here, you see the load in the house. And then here you see the amount you are taking from the grid. So there is grid, there is PV system at the top of your roof, there is battery, and then there is the load. So you can monitor all your KPIs, all your production easily at once. You can also go to where the statistics are, and then statistically you can see your production in graphs or in tables. Okay, in graphs and then in tables. It's that easy. It's that easy. Okay. Everything is done from the palm of your hand. Now let's take a look at one of my favorite parts, applications. And for installers like us, we are only concerned about how do I apply all this equipment, the inverters, the battery systems, the smart power sensor, the optimizers. How do in what scenarios can I apply it in the house? Okay, some of them I have already mentioned, but let's take a look at this. So this is a single phase scenario application without optimizer. With optimizer, the situation will not change. It will just be optimizers being fitted on each panel on the roof. And this connection comes easily to an inverter. So since it's 2 MPPTs, you have a maximum of 2 strings coming to this inverter. Connected here is your communication model, maybe a smart dongle 4G or a smart dongle WLAN, according to the specific needs of the location. And this will get you connected by the internet onto your Fusion Solar app or the management system, as you can see from here. You can do remote commissioning or local commissioning with this system. And then from here, you see the connection going to the main distribution board of the house. And then from the distribution board, it goes to the items in the house. It's a very simple system. Okay, there will be a smart power sensor connected. If you want to enable zero export and also see the production from your PV, you need to connect a smart power sensor. Now take note, the smart power sensor is communicated with the communication with the communication cable to the inverter, directly to the inverter. Okay, and this is an RS485 cable for those of you who know it. This is the RS485 two-core cable. Okay, RS485, the two-core cable. Normally, the size is between 0.2 to 1 mm. Okay, and then you can connect to the web-based platform for management of your system. It's a pretty simple plug-and-play system. Okay. Now let us increase the complexity a bit. So here we have a single-phase inverter with backup power. So in this diagram, this has optimizers. Also, you can see optimizers are now on the roof. Now we can add the battery solution. And please take note, the Huawei battery solution is DC coupled. Okay, it's a DC coupled solution, not an AC coupled solution. So the solution is DC coupled, and you can just see it connected to the system here. And then from here, if you want to allow the system to function virtually as an off-grid system when there is no grid, then you will need to get a backup box. This is also supplied in the Huawei system. It's not too expensive. So the battery solution will come with the backup box. Now, what is backup box? Once the backup box comes into the situation, then the whole scenario changes. Because now the output of the inverter do not go directly to the main distribution board. The output of the inverter goes to the backup box. Now the backup box has two outputs, which you can see from here. 1, 2. Now, if you are using a backup box, it will be good for you to create a second DB, like a smaller DB in the house. Okay. In this smaller DB, you must connect all your critical load to that DB, into that DB, so that the backup box will have 2 outputs. One output will go to the critical load, and the second output will go to the main grid. Now, what's the reason for this? The reason for this is that if the grid should go off and your batteries should kick into action, the backup box will not supply everything in your house. So, for example, you live in a house where you have about 5 or 6 air conditioners, 2 horsepower, 2.5 horsepower. They are big. Their capacity cannot be run by the battery because the battery can only discharge a maximum of 5 kilowatts. Okay, so if you live in a house where you have a lot of air conditioners, it will be good to separate your DBs, place all the items you want to be powered by the battery into what you call a critical load area, and then leave the normal items on the normal DB, so that the backup box will feed the critical load independently, and then will feed the normal DB independently. In the issue of an of a grid outage, when the grid goes off, the backup box would supply power only to the critical load. It will not supply any power to, to the main load of the house. So, for example, in my house, I put a 5 kilowatt system. I put a 5 kilowatt inverter. I put a 15 kilowatt hour system. I have a backup box. I can put a DB, and then I'll connect all my critical load. In the event the grid goes off, I want my battery to power my lights, my television sockets, and then a few other things. So I connect those loads to the critical DB. And then I leave my air conditioners, my washing machines, my dishwashers, I leave all of them on the main load. So when the light goes off, the battery will supply only the critical load and not every load in the house. This point is very important. That's why I took my time to explain it. So please, for those of you who are willing to adopt the Huawei battery systems, please take note that it will be important if you go for site inspection to identify the main distribution board in the house, and take note that you will have to create, if possible, another distribution board where you take out all the critical load that the person wants to be powered by the battery into that load. The output of the backup box, one will go to that critical load, and then the second one will go to the main distribution board. I hope I've made enough sense. If there's any confusion about this, please, as I said, keep putting your questions in the chat area. I will address it when I come to the end of my presentation. I have just a few slides more to go, so I will address it when I come to that point. Okay, then there's third application I have here. Sometimes, as I mentioned, please do remember I told you if every inverter has a battery solution, then the maximum you can cascade is 3. Okay, the maximum you can cascade is 3. So you see, this is a single phase inverter with battery, single phase inverter with battery, single phase inverter with battery. We are cascading all 3, and take note, each inverter and battery has its own backup box. So this has its own backup box. This also has its own backup box. This also has its own backup box. So you see what has been done here. Each backup box is supplying a different critical load. This backup box is also supplying a different critical load. This is also supplying a different critical load. And they are all feeding their grid load into the main DB of the house. So this is the solution. Okay. If you have backup boxes in the system, the backup boxes will have their own critical loads independently, and then all of them will feed their excess power going to the main distribution board. So when the grid is on and working, and this battery is discharging, okay, it will discharge to everything in the meantime. But when the grid goes off, and then the backup box is supposed to discharge power, it will discharge power to the critical load alone. It will not discharge any power to the backup load. It will discharge power to the critical load alone. Take note of this, please, carefully. It's absolutely very important. And again, you can operate the Huawei single phase inverter in a completely off-grid situation. And I'm guessing some of us were not aware of this. So the Huawei single phase inverter is the only group of inverter that you can operate them in an off-grid, completely where there's no grid. Okay, so it's just your PV panels with the, if you need optimizers, they are here connecting to the battery. You can have connected to the inverter. You can have battery connected to them, and then you connect it to the main distribution board. In this instance, do you realize that there is no backup box? There is no backup box because there is no grid. If there is grid, and that grid will be going off, then you need a backup box to supply to the critical load. But in the event that there is no grid, everything here becomes like critical load. Everything here becomes like critical load. So the battery will supply it directly. So that is the reason why here you don't see a backup box. There is no backup box here. And take note, the off-grid scenario you must enable whilst you are commissioning. As you commission the inverter, there will be a place where it will ask whether you want to put in an off-grid mode. Yes. So you just enable that off-grid mode, and it will put this whole system into off-grid. Another good thing about this is that, please take note, the system works only with inverters that are single phase. Three-phase Huawei inverters cannot operate in off-grid mode. Take note. Three-phase Huawei inverters cannot operate in a completely off-grid mode. It's only the single-phase inverters that can do that. So another point for you to take note. And then I think my last but one application here, as I mentioned, you can mix and match. There's the synchronization. Okay, so this is a sun 3 kilowatt inverter mixing with a 2 to 6 kilowatt inverter with batteries in the same system. Okay, connecting to a three-phase grid, and you don't have a problem. So that's a three-phase inverter, that's a single-phase inverter, that's a single-phase inverter, all synchronized. Okay, each one has a backup box and all sent to the grid. Okay, it's absolutely possible. You can do that without any problem at all. Only remember, the maximum you can have in this synchro is 3, because there are batteries. If there are no battery solutions here, the maximum you can have is 10. The maximum you can have is 10. So also take note of that application from Huawei. And then the last in my applications, sometimes we have a lot of these questions coming to us. Can I cascade the Huawei inverter with a third-party inverter? Yes, Huawei allows for third-party application. So this is the Huawei system. That's the Huawei battery. That's the backup box. This is a third-party inverter. Okay, and you can see them all supplying to the same DB. The only problem here is that if you want this third-party system to be visible onto the Huawei monitoring platform, then you need to put another smart meter at the end of this third-party inverter. Please take note. So here, this is our smart power sensor, and I mentioned it already, right? The smart power sensor is to enable production measurements and also enables zero export. Okay, so you have one in the system, which means all those will be seen in your inverter application. However, if you have a third-party inverter, for the measurement of the power produced from that third-party inverter to be seen on the Huawei platform, you need to put another Huawei smart meter at the end of it, and then connect it to the Huawei inverter. So this is a simple communication cable. Okay, simple communication cable. Again, it's an RS485 communication cable, 2-core, size between 0.2 to 1 mm. So you have that also here. That will be easy. So that is very, very possible, okay, for those of you who need that application. Okay, now let us summarize. In summary, one-fits-all application, okay? So if you take a look at what I have, all the solutions that I have given to you here, one optimizer for all situations, one inverter, either single phase or three phase, all right? And then we have one suite of service applications. We have one app for everything. We don't have different apps. And then we have one battery and solution. So everything is like a package. Okay, and once you get this package, your whole system is done. It's a simple plug and play. Okay, easier selection, easier management, easier commissioning, easier support. Everything is easy. Okay, it's a one-fits-all scenario that we have in here to avoid you having headache. Now let's come to the safety and reliability part. I may not have the opportunity to go into all these areas, but you see there are about 8 or 9 key points that has been enumerated here. And if you take a look at this umbrella, Huawei maximizes all at the edge of the umbrellas. Okay, maximum. If you compare this to other inverter solutions globally, and trust me, if this is from 1 to 10, no single inverter solution can give you this maximum that Huawei gives you in all these scenarios. Some might be here, some might be there, some might come down, some might go up, some might come down, but it's only Huawei that can give you the most optimal electricity cost, the best safety, and the best experience for all your solar inverter and accessory applications that you have in there. Before I close up, one of the most important things for me also is the issue of warranty. Okay, and I'm sure most of you will be on the call and ask, how is the warranty like? 10 years. Huawei residential solutions, warranty 10 years. 10 years on the inverters, 10 years on the batteries. Can you imagine that? Lithium ion batteries, compact, robust, safe, and the most modular type that you can find on the market. 10 years warranty. And the warranty procedure is very simple. And another thing, Huawei can even we allow you to extend the warranty to 20 years. That is the trust that we have in our product. What we are trying to tell you is that we expect this product to be available to you for the next 20 years. However, within these 10 years, that's the 10 years manufacturer warranty. If there's any problem with your system, we don't repair it, we replace. Please take note of this word. We don't repair our systems, we replace them. So you identify a problem with your inverter solution or your battery. Contact the local Jubilee Bros representative. So, for example, you are in Togo, or you are in Gabon, or you are in Kenya, or you are in Nigeria, Ghana. We showed you the map of where the Jubilee offices are. If you're in Ghana and you bought this inverter from me and you have a problem, contact me, the local Jubilee representative. I will quickly identify the issue. If I confirm that the issue is a manufacturer fault, and I need a confirmation from Huawei, I will quickly ask Huawei to review the issue. Remember, every system that has been commissioned has a password and a username. So once you give me that password and then the username, anywhere in the world I am, I can just put it into the Huawei system and I can monitor your system from there. So Huawei will review the problem, and if we agree that the problem is an inverter, it's a manufacturer fault, we will completely go ahead to replace the inverter for you within these 10 years. Even if it is 9.9 years that you had an issue, then that issue will be replaced without any problem at all. This is the benefit of you buying from a local Huawei VAP. So that you want to do a project in Ghana, you don't go to China to buy a Huawei product, bring it to Ghana. If you have an issue, you have to decommission the inverter, send it all the way to China at your own cost. They will identify and replace it for you and then ship it back to you at your own cost. That will save you at least 2-3 months of downtime. Okay, but then with me, we can do all this within a week, and the system will be replaced, and you're up and doing. These are the benefits of buying from a Jubilee Bros VAP anywhere in the world. Okay, it's critically important. So don't joke with the warranty at all. It's a very, very impressive warranty, as I can imagine. Thank you for joining me, everybody, from anywhere in the world that you are joining me. So, Omar Javaid, please forgive me if I'm not pronouncing it properly. What is the transfer switching time of Luna 2000 during grid outages? The transfer switching time, from my experience, is less than 3 seconds. It's less than 3 seconds. As I said, we won an award with a solar installation here in Ghana. It was designed and then installed by me, myself. And we installed 20 kilowatt of PV power together with 75 kilowatt hours of battery. And when the grid goes off within 3 seconds, the backup kicks in and then the power is restored. So it's that low, actually. It's very, very low. So there will definitely be a flicker. Yes, I think there will be some level of flicker, because we are first, the backup bus must kick into action and then switch to the battery solution. It's not as seamless. I mean, even with the genset that has an 8 years, sometimes there's just a slight flicker in there, but it's within 3 seconds. I can comfortably assure you that. Kwame Mensah is saying 3 seconds is high, in my honest opinion. A real-time switch will be appreciated. Kwame, the 3 seconds is due to the presence of the backup box. Because the backup box can switch into action before the battery takes over. If it was the battery alone, you saw the situation where the system acts in an off grid, okay, without the backup box solution. I bet that system would have a very seamless switch, okay, but because of the backup box, okay, we are still trying to optimize as smart as possible. So somebody's Isam is asking, what's the time period for which data is available? Isam, I will attempt to understand your question properly so that I can answer it. What's the time period for which data is available? Do you mean after, for example, if you get onto the Fusion Solar app, when data is recorded in real time and when it becomes available, it's I think it's below 10 seconds if I remember clearly, from the real time situation to when the data shows up in the palm of your hands. But I can do, unless maybe I've not understood the question properly. But then if that's what you are asking, then it is below 10 seconds, as a matter of fact. Okay. Trying to get more questions from here. Okay, so it says please share slides. Battery mass charging capacity is 5 kilowatt hours. The battery mass charging capacity is 5 kilowatts, not 5 kilowatt hours. In kilowatt hours, they are talking about energy. Capacity power is so that's to Muhammad Kamran. The battery mass charging capacity most often is 5 kilowatts. It's 5 kilowatts, okay? It's 5 kilowatts. Let me try and move on. So lunar battery charging mass rate in kilowatt hours, it's 5 kilowatts. It's 5 kilowatts as I just mentioned. I mean, metered data recording in the app. Okay, yeah. So then, yeah. So Isam has clarified. So that was what I mentioned. It's about 10 seconds. It's about, we did 10 seconds, between 10 to 5 seconds, I guess. Apart from PV6 and PV Sol, and this from Kwame again, which design and simulation software can you recommend? I mean, Helioscope is great. I've used Helioscope with the Huawei items for so many of my designs. And by the way, Huawei has its own design software. Please, for those of you who are not aware, and yes, this is a very, very important point. And Jubilee Bros does webinar solutions on Huawei's design tool. Okay, so please, since I have shared my email, anybody who wants to have access to the Huawei design tool, similar to PV6, similar to PVSol, similar to Helioscope, please get in touch with me and I can send you the link and free access to the Huawei design tool. And it's very, very easy. In fact, most people I've shared it with tell me that they find that way much more easy than the PV system and the PV saw that we use. Okay, so Helioscope is one great design, but Huawei also has its own Huawei design tool that you can use. Kwame, that is for your information. Anthony is asking, when the grid is down during sunshine hours, will the battery be charged by the panels? No. Anthony, the system is hybrid grid tied. Okay, for the Huawei residential solutions, it's grid tied. So when the grid goes off, basically, when the grid goes off, the battery will kick into action to supply to the facility. Okay, until the grid is restored. So the grid will not be. So then the PV system at the top will not be charging the batteries. No, it shouldn't be doing that. Has the lunar battery backup been included in the PV6? The last time I did PV6, which is just about a week ago, I did not have access to the backup. Uh, so I would say for now, I'm not aware. I cannot answer this definitively, Matolo. I can't I can't say for sure for now whether it's been added or not, but I don't have confirmation on that. I'll have to check that up for you, please. Saeed, what is the maximum charging current you recommend to charge batteries? The Huawei system itself recommends the Huawei system recommends two kilowatt for charging the batteries, but it gives you the opportunity to go for a maximum of 5. Okay, the recommended is 2 kilowatt, but it gives you the opportunity to go for 5, and it will not disturb anything at all. Not that the 5 will damage something or destroy something, no. But just that normally, if you take a look at the Huawei trainings will tell you to do about 1 or 2 kilowatt, but the system allows you to go for a maximum of 5. Okay. I think one last thing: is it compulsory for the backup box to be integrated? Kwame, no, it's not compulsory. However, if you don't have a backup box in the system and the grid goes off, the battery will not discharge. Hello, is anybody there? Okay, so let me give you this example. In the evening, okay, your battery is fully charged. So in the evening, you are allowing your battery to discharge to your house. There is still the grid is available, so the battery will discharge power to your house. Remember, the whole system is grid tied. That's what you should know. The system is grid tied hybrid. So the grid is available. The battery, the inverter system would automatically start power coming from the grid and allow the battery to discharge to your house. But in the event the grid goes off at that time, your battery too cannot, because remember, when the grid goes off, the inverter will go off. And when the inverter goes off, the battery cannot discharge to the inverter. It's a DC coupled system. So the battery always discharges through the inverter to your house. So if there is grid and the battery is on, if there's grid and the inverter is on, the battery will discharge through the inverter system. If the grid goes off, the inverter will go off, the battery will go off. If there's a backup bus, that is when, although the inverter goes off, the backup bus would energize the system. That's why they call it a backup box. It's there so that when the grid goes off, the backup bus can come on to energize the inverter to allow the battery to discharge. But in this instance, the backup bus will only discharge to the critical load. It will not discharge to the main load of the house. That is why you need, once a backup bus comes into the system, you need a connection that would put the power into a critical unit and then another power into the main distribution board. If you don't do that, because once the backup bus is in play, it will discharge only to the critical load. Unless you want to make the whole load in your house critical load, then that's a different scenario. Okay, and remember, if all the load in your house is above 3.3 kilowatts, then the backup box cannot discharge to other load because the maximum discharge capacity of the backup box is 3.3 kilowatts. Okay, so these are some of the dynamics. This is why trainings like this are very important, so that we can shed light on what the system can do and what it cannot do. Before you go and install it, and then you would go back and say that maybe somebody lied to you, or because you did not understand the application of the system. So for me, when it comes to residential training, the application part is very important. You need to know how to apply the system as an installer, so that you don't apply it wrongly. Okay. Very, very important. Kwame, I hope you are with me. I hope you are with me. Okay. Let me move to my next question. If I build 2 times of the 10 kilowatt for a 20 kilowatt system with a backup system of 15 kilowatt, what will be the maximum power capacity when the grid goes off? Your maximum power capacity will be 5 kilowatts. So Kwame, so you have a 2 times 10 kilowatt system, okay? And each one, okay, if not each one, let's say only one of the 10 kilowatt is connected to a 15 kilowatt hour battery. The 15 kilowatt hour battery can only discharge a maximum of 5 kilowatts. So you should know that. Unless you have created, so unless you have two systems, this 10 kilowatt, one 10 kilowatt has its own backup box. Another 10 kilowatt has its own backup box. Then you can connect one part of the backup box to one critical load, another to another critical load. So this will enjoy 5 kilowatts from here. That will also enjoy 5 kilowatt. But one backup box cannot discharge 10 kilowatt to your house. It cannot. And no battery pack, even if you hybridize it to 30 kilowatt hours, can also discharge more than 5 kilowatt to your house. The maximum discharge from the battery system is 5 kilowatts. Take note. It's 5 kilowatts. So what you can do is that you create two systems. So one 10 kilowatt with 15 kilowatt hours, another 10 kilowatt with 15 kilowatt hours. Each one has its own backup box. Then you connect the system to different critical loads. Each critical load can benefit from 5, another critical load can also benefit from 5. That is possible. Okay, that is possible. But when you combine the system together and think you can get 10 kilowatts from the system, no, it will not work. So take note, the maximum discharge from the battery solution is 5 kilowatts. The maximum discharge when the backup box comes into play is 3.3 kilowatts. Please take note. These points are very, very crucial here. I hope I am doing my best to answer your questions. Kwame again is asking these questions because I would want to know, will there be a 3-second delay switch every evening if the system is to fall on the battery? No. That is seamless. That one, you don't even realize it. When the system is switching from inverter control to battery, that is seamless, and even there is no flicker, no at all. It's just like maybe your load in your house is all supplied by the inverter, and then at a point in time your load goes up. So now the inverter is asking for some load to be supplied by the grid. It's seamless. It's automatic. You don't even know it. The changeover comes in. The changeover comes in when the grid goes off immediately. As soon as the grid goes off. So I think the question is, if the grid should go off now, in how many seconds will my system come back on? And I believe 3 seconds is very reasonable. I mean, even with generators, even when they say 8 years, it's not completely 0 seconds, you know. And by the way, please take note. I think we keep focusing on the 3 seconds. I've not mentioned this completely, but I said it's below 3 seconds. Okay, so it doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3 in that order. I mean, click, and then it just comes on. All right. Yes. So that's how it is. Kwame again, still on the backup system. Can it handle surges? Yes, the backup can handle surges. Absolutely. The inverter itself has an SPD type 2 on both the AC and the DC side. It has a type 2 SPD, AC and DC side. So, and the backup box are all protected. Okay, yes, so they can handle surges. I am hoping I have gone through the questions as much as possible, but I see still a lot of it here. So let me go back and see so that I don't leave anybody out. Who is this? Kwame again. Time intervals for. Okay. I hope I have answered all the questions. Okay, so I think I have handled most of the questions. Thank you, everybody. I've just shared my email. I'm still available. The whole purpose of me having webinars like this, as I've been explaining, and as Kwame and the rest have been asking these questions, it is important that anybody who wants to apply the Huawei system knows how to apply it. The worst thing for you to do would be to go assess a facility, promise the facility owner that you can do this and that, only for you to realize that your system cannot handle that. As an installer myself, that would be the worst situation that can happen to you. So it is very important that you understand the applications of the Huawei residential systems. We have told you the solutions: the single phase solution with the inverter and the three phase. And we have also told you how to apply the PV optimizers, okay, and in what situations to apply them. We have also spoken about the communication scenarios and the number of inverters you can synchronize in a cascade at once when you have batteries and when you don't have batteries. These are all critical information. And just as we've been answering in the question area too, the surges, the time of application, how to switch from inverter to battery systems are also all very, very important. You have my email. If you have any further questions, kindly drop me an email and I will make it a very good attempt to respond to you almost immediately. Thank you for joining me.